Recently, I started a new retrospective series on one of the most explosive racing franchises ever made, Burnout. I started with the original Burnout from 2001, and if you haven't seen that video yet, I'd recommend checking it out. It sets the stage for the next game in the series, Burnout 2: Point of Impact. This is the first time I've ever played Burnout 2. I grew up with Burnout 3 and Burnout Paradise, so revisiting the game that connected the dots for the franchise has been a great experience. Anyway, let's go. Burnout 2: Point of Impact launched in 2002 on the PlayStation 2, with GameCube and Xbox versions arriving a bit later. This would be the final Burnout game published by Acclaim, just before the company filed for bankruptcy in 2004. After that, the franchise was picked up by EA, and well, you probably know where that led. But this game was still very much in Criterion's hands. The fundamentals from the original Burnout are back, but in this game, everything is smoother, faster, and far more refined. And right from the get-go, Burnout 2 makes it clear. Like the last game, I played the PS2 version through my PC via PCSX2. Just like the original, Burnout 2 starts by having you create a profile, choosing if you want to autosave or not, and picking between 50 or 60 Hz refresh rate. Naturally, I went with 60. Before you even hit the road, you're thrown into a tutorial mode called Offensive Driving 101. You learn the core mechanics, like how to drift, avoid cars with near misses, driving on the wrong side of the road, that sort of thing. And you do it all in a clunky little student driver car, which was funny. It's a good way to introduce the mayhem that's in store, and for me it works. You even get a medal, gold, silver or bronze, depending on your performance in each lesson and race. And when you actually start racing, it just feels right. Burnout 2 plays like an actual video game this time round, not just an arcade cabinet slapped onto a console. The cars handle better, the drifting is tighter, and the tracks actually complement the mechanics. Wide highways, flowing curves, and long straights let you fully unleash the speed that the game has to offer. Boost returns, and it works largely the same. You drive dangerously to fill it, but now you've got more ways to earn it. Drifting, oncoming traffic, near misses, airtime, and perfect laps. If you finish a lap without crashing, you'll instantly max out your boost. Burnouts are introduced into the series here. If you deplete your boost and keep holding the R1 or RB button, depending on your console, it starts to refill fast. String together enough boost-worthy actions while doing this, and you'll get another full bar. It rewards consistency, and it makes you feel like a speed machine when it works. There are no more heartbeat sounds like in Burnout 1, but instead, the music swells and the sound of NOS rushing through your exhaust kicks in. It's a much better sensory payoff, in my opinion. And another great thing about Burnout 2, the game is generous now. What happens when you crash? It doesn't matter. You respawn quickly and get back in the action. No continues, no credits to lose, and checkpoint timers are way more forgiving. It still rewards precision, but it doesn't punish mistakes the same way as the first game did. Burnout 2 expands the arcade racing experience in every way. There's championship mode, single race, time attack, offensive driving 101, which are the tutorials, and the big one, crash mode. Plus, there's a local multiplayer for both racing and crash challenges. Championship mode remains the core, stringing races together in a Grand Prix. Winning unlocks new events and cars, as well as face-offs and special races like sprints and pursuits. Face-offs are 1v1 duels that unlock new vehicles if you win, like in Burnout 1. And pursuits are early prototypes of what they would become in later games. You unlock a cop car to race with when you successfully pursue your target. Retiring mid-championship forfeits your points, but the game encourages you to keep going even if you crash early. The AI is much smarter too, as drivers will swerve to avoid you or slow down, giving you a chance to catch up. Crash mode is where Burnout 2 really finds its identity. You're dropped into intersections or high-speed roads with one goal: cause as much destruction as possible. You're graded with bronze, silver, or gold medals depending on the dollar amount of carnage, and you unlock more zones as you go. It's simple and brilliant, and it's the foundation for what the Burnout series would become known for. The soundtrack is still very generic. There are no licensed tracks yet, as these wouldn't arrive until Burnout 3. But the in-game soundtrack does its job, and the audio mix complements the feeling of speeding a lot better than in the first game. There are also no licensed cars either, but you can clearly see the inspirations. One of the sports cars looks like it's got the front of a Porsche and the rear end of a Nissan Silvia. Criterion knew how to stay just close enough to real-world designs without needing the actual licenses. If you've made it this far in, thanks so much for sticking around. I'm covering every Burnout game in this series, so if you want more videos like this, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for your support, now let's keep going. The tracks here aren't just fun, they're familiar. Interstate 88, Big Sur, Crystal Summit, many of these show up again in future Burnout games. Burnout 2 feels like the moment Criterion realized they were onto something, and they started building a world around it. The foundation was laid with Burnout 1, but this is where the franchise began to form its own personality. It's all here: insane speed, big crashes, and timely strategy to make it to the finish line. The replays are cinematic, the UI is cleaner, the mechanics are sharper, and it all builds towards something greater than the sum of its parts. Burnout 2 Point of Impact is a massive improvement over the first game. Everything from the driving to the structure feels more purposeful. It's smoother, it's smarter, and it's very fun. The visuals are still a little rough around the edges, and the music hasn't hit its stride yet, but this is the game where Burnout becomes Burnout, in my opinion. It's the bridge between the wild ambition of the first game and the raw adrenaline of Burnout 3 Takedown, which I'll talk about in the next video. Playing this one for the first time, I feel it holds up quite well, and in some ways, it shines even brighter today in my eyes because of how many risks Criterion took to get the series to where it would eventually go. Thanks for watching all the way through. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you've played Burnout 2, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What were your favorite tracks or moments? Drop them in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like and consider subscribing for more retrospectives. You can watch the Burnout 2001 retrospective here, and if you like Tony Hawk and skate games, I have retrospectives on those too in these playlists. You can also support the channel through memberships or Ko-fi. Links are in the description. My name is OneHip, and you have a good one. Bye!